Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Vaishnavi, Shastri. So that let's recollect whatever we learned in the last session. Anyone remembers any points? Okay. So the last verse was about 6 loving exchanges between devotees. And the first pair, we paired it into 3. Dadami Padigrahnadi. Dadami means offering gifts. Padigrahnadi means to receive gifts. Okay. So while offering gifts, what should we keep in mind? Whether it is useful for them. Excellent. We should offer gifts which they like, which is useful for them, not according to our likes and desires. And in case we don't know what they like, what we should do, we can give them Lakshmi. Okay, so Dadami Pradipurnadi, then second pair, Guhyam Akhyadi Prichati. That means you reveal your mind in confidence, and you also hear other devotees' revelations. So when we say we reveal our mind in confidence, it mainly means topics relating to bhakti. But sometimes we may also have to discuss something about our seva and certain things which may affect our seva, like maybe our personal problems, family issues, all those things. And one very important thing that we have to keep in mind when someone reveals their heart to us is what is that? Confidential. We should keep whatever they reveal very confidential. Okay. Now the third is that Dhumte Bhoje Deche. That is, you should offer prasad. You should also accept prasad. And all these exchanges will cement the relationship amongst Vaishnavas. And this is very important for the Vaishnava community. Because after a certain period of time into Krishna consciousness, you will experience that slowly your relatives, your friends, your classmates, your neighbors, they will all slowly ebb away from you. they will keep a respectable distance from you. Why it happens so? They are scared of us, and sometimes we are also scared of them. So that is natural, we can't help it. So finally, we'll come to a stage wherein the Vaishnavas are our real family. It's not our blood relatives. Finally, every devotee will come to that stage. Because only Vaishnavas will understand us. And also remember that the Vaishnavas are going to do a very great seva for you. What seva they will do? At the time of death, they are going to stand beside you and chant Harinam for you. If that opportunity is not available, they are going to give you prasadam garlands. They are going to place prasadam garlands on your body. They are going to chant the Gita verses in front of your mortal body. They are going to take your ashes for immersion in the Ganges. All this seva, your relatives may not. They don't understand the importance of this. So it is very, very important that we need to have a loving relationship with the devotees. Of course, there will be some difference of opinions and quarrels, tips. That's all there. But never take it very seriously to such an extent that you decide that I'm not going to talk with this devotee anymore. I'm not going to associate with this Mataji anymore. Don't come to such decisions. Because sometimes the devotee with whom you fought so much may be the person who is standing beside your deathbed. Maybe that devotee chanted Harinam in your ears when you are leaving your body. Maybe that devotee is carrying your body into the burial ground. Now, they may be doing that seva for you. You never know. So never have any enmity with any devotees. In case you feel that I'm not able to sync with this devotee somehow, at least maintain such a relationship where you are in a position to smile at that devotee and say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji, how are you? Is everything fine? That much minimum relationship you should have with every single devotee, at least in your community, in your congregation. There should not be even a single devotee with whom you have such a bitter relationship that you don't even feel like looking at that person. You don't even feel like saying Hare Krishna to that person. If that is the situation, then understand that you are going to lose, not that person. So, we are living in a Vaishnava family. See, sometimes there are devotees like they don't have children. It's just husband and wife. And suddenly the husband leaves. The wife is all. Then where is the family for them? It is the Vaishnavas who are going to support them for the rest of the life. So we never know who's going to help us at what point of time. So these loving exchanges are very important. Please try to implement them in your practical life. It's not simply for by-hearting and writing exams for publications. So you go home and introspect. Is there any Vaishnava in my community with whom I don't enjoy a good relationship? Against whom I am having some bitterness in my heart. If you find someone is there like that, you do something about it. Go to them, talk to them, pay your pranams to them, say Vancha Kalpa to them. Make sure that there is no bitterness. Yeah. Please don't listen to your false life. Why should I do this? Should not be scolded. I did not do anything. It's okay. Then what is the point of chanting every day? It's only for chanting. So Krishna will sometimes deliberately bring forth such devotees who are very difficult to interact with. They are devotees, Vaishnavas, initiated, but it's very difficult to interact with. But that is how you are going to get trained. They are going to be your trainers, you know, to shape your mindset. So look at them in that way. Don't think that because of this person, I'm not feeling like working. Sunday he'll be there only in front of. Don't know. Then there is some problem with you. He is perfectly fine. Every Sunday he is coming and sitting there. Who have a problem? So it's very important to have a loving relationship. Now let's go to shloka number 5. Krishne yasya giritam manasa kriyeta dikshashti chet pranadibhischa bhajandamish susrushaya bhajana vignam ananyaman nindadi shunya hridam ipsita sankalapya. Translation. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. A lot of important principles are embedded within this shloka. For instance, in this shloka, Rupa Goswami is delineating 3 types of Vaishnavas. So who are they? Kanishka, Madhyama, and Uttama. He is also explaining the characteristics of these 3 types of Vaishnavas. He is also teaching us how to deal with these 3 types of Vaishnavas. So much is impregnated at this shloka. Now, here it is mentioned that with the different devotees, we interact in a different way. For instance, with the Kanishka Vaishnavas, we mentally honor them. In the mind, we honor them. And for Madhyamas, we physically honor them. How do we physically honor them? By offering our pranams. And for Uttama Adhikari, definitely, we again offer our physical pranams. And we also associate with them. Even though the way we are dealing with these 3 types of devotees are different, there is a common factor in all these 3 dealings. What is that? Honor. Whether the devotee is a Kanishta, Madhyama, or Uttama, we honor them. That is very important. So this culture of honoring other Vaishnavas is very important. For that matter, we can honor every living entity, even a non-devotee. So what is the basis of honoring a non-devotee? Why we should honor even a non-devotee? Why? Because he is part and parcel of Krishna, and also Paramatma stays inside everyone's. So in Bhagavad Gita, there is a definition of Pandita. What is the definition? Pandita Samadesha. He sees Paramatma's presence. He sees the presence of soul in a dog eater, in a Brahmana. So, in that sense, we should honor everyone. Everyone needs to be honored, especially the Vaishnavas. So, here it is mentioned. The first, there is mention of Kanishtas. So, who is a Kanishta, who is a Madhyama, Uttama, that all we should know. But before even starting that discussion, Srila Prabhupada is talking about the beginning of spiritual life. What is the first step of forming a devotee? How a devotee is made? Prabhupada is saying, first step is Shraddha. With the Shraddha, the devotion starts. So what is Shraddha? Shraddha means firm faith. Not simply faith, firm faith. That is why in many temples we have got this Siksha system, Siksha levels, isn't it? What is the first level? Shraddha. So Shraddha means it's a beginning. He has got Shraddha. He has got firm faith. See, when we offer Pinda, Tarpana to our forefathers, to our departed ancestors, we call that ritual as what? Shraddha. So, Shraddha actually comes from the root word Shraddha. Why do we call that ritual as Shraddha? How is it connected to Shraddha? How? Because the most important element in that ritual is when I do this tarpana, I have firm faith that if the benefit of this tarpana will reach my departed ancestors. There you need a lot of faith because we can never cross check. We cannot call up and ask, Grandpa, did you receive? Okay. You cannot do that. So we need to have Shraddha. So that is why it is very important that we offer Pinda, Pradana, everything, but with the faith. If you doubt the process, then it will not give any benefit. So in the Antyeshti Samskara, generally it is recommended that the Antyeshti Samskara must be done by a person who has got a blood relation with the deceased person. Normally it is the elder son. But then the same Shastra says that in case that elder son doesn't have faith in all this Antyeshti Kriyas, it is better that he doesn't perform. Better the rituals be performed by some other person. He's not even blood related to him. But if he has faith, it is better that he does. So faith is very important in all this rituals. So anyway, Shraddha means firm faith. And Srila Prabhupada is saying you should have firm faith in three things. First thing is, you should have firm faith in the process of devotional service. In the process of devotional service. So when we say, I have firm faith in the process of devotional service, what does that mean? What does it percolate to? It means I have firm faith that this process will work. That is a firm faith. If I chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Yuga Dharma, I will be liberated. If I offer service to the Lord, Lord will be pleased. We should have firm faith that the process will work. Sometimes the devotees doubt the process. Prabhu, I have been chanting for so many years. I have been doing seva for so many years. But then I don't feel any tangible progress within me. How do you know? Because my wife always says that. What is the use of you going to the temple? You are still the same old person. She always encourages me like this. So what is happening to my sadhana? It is not yielding any benefit. Sometimes we will doubt. Have you felt that way? No, I am not married, Prabhu, so I have not felt. So even unmarried people, sometimes I feel maybe Prabhu is still in the same place. Have you felt that way? Huh? Many times we feel consciousness is not improving. I am the same old person. So, the beginning of our spiritual life, when we start chanting, when we come to the temple, we really feel the progress that we make. I'm feeling so good after I chanted my first round. When I ate prasadam, I felt so good. When I listen to the lecture, I feel so good. You can very well feel it in the beginning days. Later on, you don't feel it so much. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why is it so? Does that mean that we are not making progress later on? No. There's one nice example given to explain this. Is when we have boarded an airplane and when it is taking off, you can feel the acceleration. You're pushed back in your seat. But once it is airborne, things become very still. It feels like the aircraft is standing still, but it is going at a velocity of say around 800 to 1000 kilometers per hour. But you don't feel it. Similarly, whatever you do in this devotional life is going to yield benefit. Never doubt the process. Maybe you don't feel it, but progress is always happening. So this is the first area where we need to have Shraddha. What is that? This process of Krishna consciousness will work. Hare Krishna Mahamantra will work. If you don't have that Shraddha, then what will happen is simultaneously you will be chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra going to the temple, and at the same time you will go to the astrologers and listen to them and do Prayaschitta Karma and Parihara Kriya. Go to this temple, go and do Navagraha Puja. That also you do. So if you are doing such things, what does that mean? You don't have faith for faith. You have faith, but your faith is not firm. If your faith is firm, then you will have 100% confidence that all my problems will be solved by this path of bhakti. Chanting alone is enough. Nothing else is required. Everything is inside this Hare Krishna. That is what is meant by faith in the process of bhakti. The second faith, kind of faith that we need is, yeah, of course, complete faith in the chanting of the Holy Name. Well, in the beginning, it is called Komala Shraddha. Your Shraddha is very soft. But that Shraddha should become firm. Dhrida Shraddha, by constant association with the devotees who are already having that Dhrida Shraddha. Like a newcomer may approach a devotee and say, Prabhu, I'm chanting on 1 round daily, but I have a lot of problems, Prabhu, in the family. So my family members went to an astrologer and he's asking me to do this Parihara Kriya. Should I go forward and do this? Then that senior Vaishnava will say, it's not really required. You chant nicely. You go and submit your prayers to the Lord. You circumambulate Tulsi Maharani. You go to the holy dhams, you perform seva. All these things are very potent. They can easily solve your problems. He keeps faith to that person. Be patient. We're chanting, no, everything will work. Like that, he inspires. And when he's inspired like that, then he continues to chant with more faith and he will start experiencing the power of the Holy Name. So it takes some time. In the beginning, it is Komala Shraddha. So that becomes Dhrida Shraddha by associating with the senior. So the second kind of faith that we need to have is firm faith in the words of Krishna. Krishna is saying something in Bhagavad Gita. He's saying you should do like this, you should not do like this. I will follow it. It will work. because it is coming from the mouth of Swayam Krishna. He is the supreme controller. So if I follow his instructions, it's going to work. So that is the second kind of. And our role model for that is definitely Arjuna. Arjuna was initially very hesitant, but later on he understood that it will work. That's why he said, Sishyasteham Shadi Mamtvam Prapanna. Please accept me as your disciple. After reciting the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Yadhechasi tadha. Whatever you want, you do, Krishna. There is no compulsion that you should follow my instructions. But what did Arjuna say? No, no. I have firm faith in your words. Whatever you say. So this is the second kind of Shraddha. It is firm faith in the words of Krishna. That means firm faith in Shastras. What are Shastras? Krishna's words. And the third kind of faith is faith in holy name. Faith in Hare Krishna Mahaprabhu. We are all considered as Harijanas. But somehow politically the term Harijana has got some other connotation in the political arena, isn't it? But actually, who is a real Harijana? A real Harijana is a person who chants Harinama. Anyone who chants Harinama is a real Harijana. It's not that you are a poor person, then you become Harijana. You don't have anything to eat, so you are Harijana. So Harijana is a person who chants Harinama. So a Harijana will have firm faith in the Hare Krishna. I don't have to chant any other mantras for my spiritual activity. I don't need any other mantras even for any other foods that I wish for. Everything is possible by chanting Hare Krishna. But frankly speaking, we have that kind of faith in Hare Krishna. Oh, I'm chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but can I also chant Vishnu Sahasranama? Because in the Bhalashruti it is mentioned that whatever you desire, if you chant Vishnu Sahasranama, it will happen. Can I also chant Sundarakanda? Hare Krishna also I'm chanting only. Not saying that don't chant Vishnu Sahasranama or don't chant Sundarakanda. What I'm trying to say, don't think that whatever is not possible by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is possible by doing something else or chanting. Devotees also chant Vishnu Sahasranama. Why? Because they like to chant the holy names of the Lord. They're so beautiful names. We feel so much of pleasure when we chant various names of the Lord. That's why we chant Vishnu Sahasranama. Not for getting any materialistic boons. So these three kinds of faith, if you have, then you are qualified to be called as Shraddhavan. Then you are a real. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has classified Vaishnavas into three based on the chanting of the holy name. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, any person who chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra at least once can be considered as a Vaishnava. He is a Kanishta Vaishnava. And any person who constantly chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra is considered as a Madhyama Vaishnava. And any person in whose presence others will feel like chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then he is considered as So, in which stage are we in? Are we Kanishta, Madhyama, or Uttama? Uttama, right?
Kanishta
No,
Prabhuji.
Madhyama. Madhyama. Madhyama, no. Are we Madhyamas? Then? Oh, we are Kanishtas. So, when we talk about all these classifications, Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama, please understand that it is not to classify the other Vaishnavas around you. It is mainly intended to understand who we are. Understand? So, your chanting decides whether you are a Kanishta, Madhyama, or in one lecture, Radhanath Maharaj was saying that 95% of your spiritual progress depends on how you chant your Nama. 95% depends on your chanting. Chanting is very important. That is why Hare Krishna Mahamantra is considered as the Yuga Dharma. It is considered as Mahamantra. So if you want to really progress in spiritual life, please rededicate yourself to the chanting of the Holy. If you want to increase your quality as a Vaishnava or Vaishnavi, please increase the quality of your chanting. I think it's the most important process. So now we were saying that a Uttama will make others chant. So can we also make others chant without verbally requesting them to chant? Is there any way to do that? Huh? When we sing Kirtan, then others may also follow. Because generally people like music. Okay, that is one way of doing it. Even without opening our mouth, can we make someone to chant the holy name? Is it possible? How to do that? By layering a tilak. As soon as anyone sees a person with a tilak, what they will say? Hey, Hare Krishna. Maybe they are making fun of you, but in the process of teasing you, what did they do? They chanted the holy name. So you don't even have to open your mouth. Just put nice tilak and go and stand in the road. Many people will chant. Ah, that fellow standing there on the road. Hare Krishna. You know that person with the inverted candle? They're all Hare Krishna. Heard this? Have you heard this? First time. Hare Krishna people are defined as people who draw inverted candles on their forehead. Did you understand? Inverted candle. Looks like that one, you know. It's like a flame. Tulsi is like a flame. So, anyway, at the end of the day, they chant the holy name. So, that is our aim. Even as a preacher, even as preachers, our most important goal is to bring people to the level of chanting the holy name. Today in the morning, I was discussing with one Mataji. She was saying, Prabhu, I have been conducting a Bhakti Diksha for so many years, but no one has come to the level of Diksha. So I think I am a failure as a preacher. So I asked her, do they chant? Yeah, they chant. Very one of my Bhakti Diksha members are chanting daily without fail. But they are not coming to the level of Diksha. I'm not inspired. I'm feeling so demotivated. So is she, what do you think? Is she successful as a preacher or is she a failure as a preacher? How come? Because they are chanting. So you are all preachers. So understand that your preaching becomes successful as soon as you make someone chant the holy name. Once they chant the holy name, then they immediately establish a relationship with the Lord. Is that a direct relationship or an indirect relationship? It's a direct relationship because the Lord is present personally within His Nama. Then it is between the Lord and that living entity. Our duties as a preacher is only to facilitate that connection. Connect that person with the Lord. Oh Lord, this is your child. Now I am interested in you. He is ready to chant. Rest you take care. So never feel demotivated in your preaching efforts. Even if only one person is coming for your Bhakti Raksha, if he is chanting, you are successful. Okay. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dividing or categorizing Vaishnavas into three based on their. Now let's see how chanting can help one to progress. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that this organ called a tongue is very powerful because it can help us in two ways to progress in spiritual life. What are the two ways that a tongue can help us? Chanting and by taking prasad. Only this tongue has that capacity, isn't it? So that's why it is said, Sevon Kehi Jihvada. See, if you want to attract a newcomer to Krishna consciousness, which is the best way to do that? Give them prasad. People may say, I am very busy, I don't want to chant. People may say, I am not interested to come to the temple. People may say, I am not interested to read Bhagavad Gita, but nobody will say, I am not interested to eat. I am very busy. I don't eat at all. Everyone eats. So that's why it's very important that you carry some dry prasadam with you. Whenever you go to meet some new souls or not devotees. My Guru Maharaj is very particular about it. Whenever he travels, he will carry dry prasadam. And it has become such a regular practice that when he lands in a country, in the airport, the officials, the immigration officials are so familiar with this Swamiji, they will not ask for the passport, they will ask for the prasad. Swamiji, cookies, passport later. And most of them know my Guru Maharaj. As soon as they see him, they are very happy. The Swamiji will give us cookies. Prasad. So tasty this. And many people became devotees just by taking Shadam. Prabhupada, in the initial days of Iskcon, he attracted people by Shadam. He used to make a sweet out of milk powder and sugar and cardamom. It's very tasty. And in the Second Avenue, in New York City, the store from where he started, he used to make that sweets and put it in a glass jar. And people used to, these hippies used to come and take and eat them. And by eating those sweet balls, it's known as Iskcon bullets. Heard about it? Yeah. It's known as Iskcon bullet. Just pierces their heart. That's why it's called a bullet. Just think about it. It is made by Prabhupada. And how powerful it will be. Prabhupada's own hands, it's made. So it's no wonder that it acted like a bullet. So we also can make such bullets at home. The government will not come and catch you. but make it with so much of love. Offer it with so much of love. It will work like a bullet. It will penetrate the heart of you. You first have faith. You don't think, oh, I am eating this prasada for so many years, nothing is penetrated inside my. How it will penetrate? Then it will not penetrate. First, you have faith. And this faith in Mahaprasada is witnessed in a place called Jagannath. There, Jagannath Prasadam is more prominent than Jagannath. They show the same respect to Jagannath Prasadam that they show to the deity of Jagannath. So it's very important that we distribute Mahaprasada, Sevon Mukhehi Jihvata, and attract conditioned souls to Krishna consciousness. So this is a wonderful seva, especially Matajis can do. Many Matajis are expert in making sweet snacks. Please utilize that in attracting conditioned souls to Krishna consciousness. So after this, Srila Prabhupada is describing about the features of Kanishtadhikari. Kanishtadhikari is at the lowest rung of Bhakti. And how do we identify a Kanishtadhikari? His Shraddha is Komala. Komala Shraddha. Komala Shraddha means what? Very soft, it's not firm, it's not dridha. So he has got Komala Shraddha, and he may be initiated. It's not that he is an uninitiated, non-initiated person. Sometimes he is initiated. But then, even then, sometimes he may have Komala Shraddha. So in Iskcon, people sometimes have a very high expectation from initiated devotees. So you are a Diksha can Diksha holder. You must be someone very great. It may not be the case all the time. Sometimes out of mercy, even people who have Komala Shraddha, they are given initiation. So the idea is, once they get initiated, they will start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they will associate with devotees, and gradually they will progress in their spiritual. So sometimes they may be initiated, and they will take shelter of holy name. They will be chanting the holy name. That is one feature of Kanishtadhikaris. And they will also have the understanding that Krishna and his holy names are not different. That understanding they will have. But they will not understand who is a Madhyama Adhikari. And they may not know how to properly respect senior Vaishnavas. Sometimes they will be little quarrelsome. And sometimes they may consider themselves to be very elevated. So all these are some of the drawbacks of Kanishka. But then they definitely chant. So they need to be mentally on. Now the qualities of a Kanishtadhikari mentioned in Bhagavatam is like this. They faithfully worship the deity in the temple. They think that the Lord is predominantly present in the deity form. They cannot see the Lord in some other place. For them, they think that Lord means He is present in a temple inside the deity. So they are very faithful in worshipping the deity in the temple. And they can't behave properly, devotees and others. And such devotees are known as Prakrita Bhaktas in the language of Sriman. Now, the second category is Madhyama Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari also may be initiated by a guru, and he will be engaged in the loving service of his Guru Maharaj, and he will be sincere in his bhajana, and he may not be very strong in Shastric knowledge. He may know certain things, but he will not be very strong in the Shastric knowledge. But he will have firm faith in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So all these are the features of Madhyama Adhikari. So what are they? He may have received a spiritual initiation. He will be engaged in the service of his Guru Maharaj. He will sincerely perform his bhajana, sadhana, but his Shastric knowledge may not be very strong, but he will have firm faith in chanting of Hare Krishna. And two other important features of Madhyama Adhikari is he will be very merciful to the Kanishta Adhikaris. How he will show his mercy? He will give guidance, spiritual instructions. Like that, he will show mercy. And he will always endeavor to preach and bring other conditioned souls into Krishna consciousness. So these are all the features of a Madhyama. And in Bhagavatam, the features of Madhyama Adhikari is like this. Bhagavatam is enumerating 4 features. First one is he will worship Krishna with love. He will be engaged in deity worship with the love. Second nature is he will befriend the devotees. He will be very friendly to the devotees. Third nature, he is merciful to the ignorant. And fourth nature is he will avoid the envious people. He finds that people, some of the people around him are very envious. He will avoid them. He will not go and fight with them or be inimical towards them. He will just avoid. So these are all the features of a Madhyama. And Uttama Adhikari, one main feature of Uttama Adhikari is he will not blaspheme others. He will not criticize anyone. That is the nature of Uttama Adhikari. See, when it comes to the topic of criticism, there are 3 things, 3 levels. In the first level, they do something called Dosha Kathanam. What is Dosha Kathanam? Dosha means what? Faults. Dosha Kathanam means talking about the faults of others. This is Dosha Kathanam. Is that good for us? Definitely they have some faults. And we are talking about others' faults. It is not that we are imagining something. Whatever faults we are talking about is correct only. They are having that fault. So we are talking about that. Is that good for us? Dosha Kathanam? No, it's not good for us. Why it is not good for us? Because, see, there is an interesting episode in the life of Socrates. Once someone went to Socrates and said, you know, I heard something about that person. Then Socrates said, wait. Whatever you are going to talk about that person, is it something good? Are you talking something good about him? By talking like this about him, will he get benefited? Then this person, no, something bad about him, and he will not get benefited. If I hear what you say about him, will I be benefited? Also not be benefited. Okay. If you talk about that person to me, will you be benefited? No, you will also not be. So you are saying the person whom you are talking about, he will not get any benefit. As a hearer, listener, I am also not getting benefit. As a speaker, you are also not getting any benefit. Then why should you talk? Correct only. No? Okay. So this is called the triple filter test. So whenever you have an urge to speak about someone, you put that content through this triple filter test. If at least it passes in one of the parameters, either one of the person is getting benefit, then you go ahead and otherwise. So that's why it is very important. Think well before you talk about others' thoughts. Okay. So it's not easy to follow, but please try to follow. So this is dosha kathanam. The second level is dosha aropanam. You know what is dosha aropanam? Huh? It is blaming. So what is the difference between dosha kathanam and dosha aropanam? In dosha kathanam, definitely there is a fault in that person. No doubt about it. But in dosha aropanam, what happens? We are not really sure about it. We are saying he has a fault, but we are not sure about it. It is aropana, accusation. That is why in the court they use always this term. They don't say bring the criminal to the court. No, what do they say? Bring the accused to the court. It is not a truth. So this is dosha aropana. So from dosha kathanam, we should elevate ourselves to no, we should, what is the right word? We should downgrade ourselves to dosha aropanam. From dosha kathanam, if you go and do dosha aropanam, you are downgrading yourself. You are going to the next level. And then there is a third level. It is called asuya. In asuya, what happens is one person is having a virtue. He is very patient person. But then we say it is a dosha. For us, that virtue is a dosha. Actually, it is a virtue. But we see it as a vice, as a dosha. That is asuya. See, for instance, this person is very patient. So even if his wife scolds, he's very patient. But when you see this, you will say, he's a good for nothing fellow. He doesn't know how to control his wife. If I was in his place, I would have given a nice slap to him. But if you go to his house, he will know whether he's slapping or his wife is slapping. That we don't know. But he will say he is not even a man. What masculinity is having? Is simply sitting and listening to all the scoldings of his wife. So he is actually very patient. It is not easy to sit and listen to the scoldings of your wife. So he is having a virtue. But then this person is saying it as a. So that is the third level where you become envious. So a envious person cannot see any gunas in others. Even the gunas, for him it is. That's when Malayalam there is a saying. Kshiramulor agidin chuvattilum. Chora thanne koduginnu kaudukam. What does it mean? You understood me? What does it mean? See, a mosquito is going. He's going towards the udder of a cow. Inside the udder of the cow, what is there? Nectarian milk. But he is not interested in that milk. He is interested in the blood. So even in the udder, he looks out for blood. So this is the situation of a envious person. And if we are envious, then what is the problem? We will not be able to understand Bhagavatam. What is the qualification that is required to understand Bhagavatam? Nirmatsadana. Shukadeva Goswami is saying you should have the quality of Nirmatsadana. That means You are not envious of. That is one of the predominating qualities of a sannyasi. A sannyasi has this quality. The moment you take sannyasa, you declare that I am going out of the race. I am not interested in this race anymore. I am out of the race. Why he wants to go out of the race? If you are in the race, what will happen? You want to come first. If you don't come first, then you will feel envious for that person who is coming first. So that you will come first, you will do anything abominable to downgrade your competitor. So a sannyasi should have this quality of nirmatsarana. So he is openly declaring that don't count me in any of the races. I am out of the competition. I don't want to compete with anyone for anything. Then he becomes peaceful, shantam. We are becoming peaceless because we enter into all this competition. I want to prove myself. I want to show my relatives who I am. All this competitive spirit is there. Even as children, sometimes parents encourage this competitive spirit. They will say, you should become first in the school. You should win the match. No, it's not a good way to train your children like that. Instead, what we should say, bring out the best in you. Whether you come first, second, it doesn't matter. You run the race. That is what is important. So it's very important how we teach the children. So a Uttamadhikari is not interested in blaspheming others because he doesn't find any fault in others. Like there is an incident that occurred in the Gurukula of Dronacharya. Dronacharya gave two errands. He told Duryodhana to find a person who is better than himself. And he told Dharmaputra to find a person who is lower than himself. And both of them came empty-handed in the evening. Duryodhana came and Dronacharya asked, where is that person? You went around the whole day in the city. Didn't you find one person who is better than you? No. Everyone are good for nothing fellows. I am the most virtuous person in the entire kingdom. What to do? Dharmaputra also came empty-handed. Dronacharya asked, didn't you find even one person who is lower than you? I said, no. I am the most lowest person. Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaibeya. You know, in the material world, you will be selected if you prove that you are the best person. But in the spiritual world, you will be selected if you prove that you are the worst person. Samapatita Prabhu. Oh Lord, please select me. Why? Because I am the most fallen. All these people are very good people. You don't have to give so much attention to them. Give all your attention to me. I need your attention. I am a serious case. I must be in the casualty. These people can be in the outpatient ward. Their disease is not so serious. Please. So in the spiritual field, everything occurs in a totally different way. The dimensions are totally different. So Uttamadhikari sees everything in relation to Krishna. That is another wonderful feature. Whatever he sees, he will connect it with the Krishna. When he drinks some water, he will think, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. Ah, it's a taste of water. It's Krishna's taste. When he sees green trees outside, then what he will think? Rama is also greenish. Pachai Mamalai Pol Meni. Alvar is saying. Rama is like a Pachai Mamalai. Pachai Mamalai means a greenish mountain. It's Ajana Bahu. So when you see a green tree, you remember the Lord. When you see the blue sky, you remember Shama Sundara. And Shama Sundara is also like this. That's the reason when Gopikas, when they see Tamala Vriksha, they immediately go and they embrace. Why? They are very fond of Tamala Vrikshas. Why? Because the hue, the color of the bark of Tamala Vriksha is very similar to that of Krishna's hue. So whatever you see, whatever you experience, you relate that with the Krishna. That is how we become Krishna conscious. Prabhupada did not say become a Krishna Bhakta. He said you become Krishna conscious. See, when you say Bhakta, people will think that, yeah, I will be a Bhakta in the temple on Sundays. On Janmashtami, I will be a Bhakta. Prabhupada said, no. You need to be a Krishna conscious person. So how can be Krishna conscious when you are at the workplace? How can you be Krishna conscious when you are daily fighting with your wife? How can you be Krishna conscious when you are riding in a bus? How? You have to find out how to do that. That is up to you. How to connect it. You know, when your wife is scolding you, how will you become Krishna conscious? How? How can you connect that to Krishna? Rukmini. Satyabhama, correct. See, she knows. Now you understand it's a good wife. You remember Satyabhama? You know, what is the stark difference between Rukmini and Satyabhama? Rukmini is very meek and humble, isn't it? That's why Krishna will always tease Rukmini only. He will not show his smartness to Satyabhama. She will nicely give back. She is very aggressive. Rukmini is very soft. I think in the 16th chapter, the Bhagavatam, there is an entire chapter entitled Krishna teasing Rukmini. The whole chapter is about that. No, one day when Rukmini came and she was serving lunch to the Krishna, Krishna said, "Oh Rukmini, you are such an intelligent girl. How did you make this mistake?" Rukmini said, "What? No, why did you marry me? You are so beautiful. You are so learned. You are the daughter of Vidarbha, king of Vidarbha Desha, Bhishmaka. Such a nice parentage you have. Why did you marry me? I am a school dropout. You are such an intelligent girl. When you are asked to send a message, you wrote a poem called Rukmini Sandesha. You are so educated, learned. You should have married Shishupala. He is a king. I am a red Chodrai. I run away from battlefields. I steal others' properties. I am a thief. Why did you marry me? A big mistake. Then hearing this, Rukmini's face is going red. Then Krishna is giving an offer to Rukmini. Even now, Rukmini is not like. If you say yes, I will find a nice boy for her, who's very fair. I'm a blackish fellow. He's very fair like you. Very rich, very educated, Veda Pandita. Shall I try? There is one son. What happened? She collapsed. Krishna was just joking. She collapsed. So she's so soft, so attached to the Lord. So it is up to us to relate everything to Krishna. Then only you can become Krishna conscious. Otherwise, you will stay as part-time devotees. What is part-time devotee? Sunday, that too from 10 to 12. After the class, I will show my visual. If you need to be a full-time devotee, then you need to learn how to relate everything with the. That is your homework that nobody can teach. That you have to find out how to do. So this is the characteristic feature of a Uttamadhikari. And he also sees all the living entities with an equal vision. This is a plus point as well as a minus point. If you have equal vision towards everyone, what is the plus point? You will not feel like criticizing anyone. You will see part and parcel of Krishna, Paramatma inside everyone's heart. So how can you criticize that person? Isn't it? You cannot find any faults with them. And you cannot hate anyone. You will start loving everyone. Isn't it? So these are all good things about it. But what is the flip side of seeing everything as everyone as part and parcel of Krishna, Paramatma is inside their heart? What is the flip side? You can't preach. Because you think that all of them are advanced. They are far, far better than me. Why should I go and preach to them? In fact, they should come and preach to me. That will be your mentality. So, a Uttamadhikari cannot preach. So, if you have to preach, what you should do? You should deliberately come down to the stage of Madhyam. Only a Madhyamadhikari can. So, that is one feature of Uttamadhikari. And a Uttamadhikari is interested only in Krishna Seva. He is not interested in anything else. Only Krishna Seva. And he always thinks of Krishna. And he also tries to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world by coming down to the stage of Madhyama. Say, for example, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is definitely a Uttamadhikari. But he comes down to the stage of Madhyama, he scolds, he chastises, finds out the mistakes of his disciples. That is a seva he's doing. It is a very great seva. It's not easy. It is very palatable to climb from a lower stage to a higher stage. Isn't it? But it is not easy to climb down to a lower stage. Suppose you are traveling in the general compartment of a train, and if someone comes, TT comes and says, see, there is one vacant berth in first class AC. Would you like to come? You don't have to pay anything extra. No, come. But if you are sitting in first class AC and the TT comes, why don't you go to general compartment? Somebody wants to come and sit here. You will not agree. It's not easy. So, people like Prabhupada, they are doing such a great austerity by coming down to the stage of Madhyamadhikari for our sake. And luckily, we don't have to take that austerity. Why? Because anyway, we are not in that Uttamadhi. You don't have to come down and all. So, we can, without austerity, we can preach wherever we are, in whatever stage we are. So, one caution Srila Prabhupada is giving here is, please don't imitate an Uttamadhikari. Uttamadhikari is in a very elevated stage, but don't try to imitate him. You know, once Shankaracharya, he was walking in the forest, he was traveling somewhere, and he was very thirsty. And then he was looking out for some water to quench his thirst. And then there was a blacksmith's ala there. And then there he went and he gave something to drink. And Shankaracharya drank. So his disciples are perplexed. How can Acharya drink from a mlecha's hand? The drink, we don't know what kind of drink you offer, whether it is offered to the Lord, nothing we know. How can the Acharya drink like this? So then later on, some disciples thought, so that means if Shankaracharya is doing this, we can also do. We can also drink and eat whatever we want from anywhere. Because Acharya is doing. So after some time, Shankaracharya again went, and then he became thirsty and he went to another blacksmith's area and he was melting iron. It was flowing. So Shankaracharya, he took a handful of that and drank. And then he looked at the disciples. Why did Shankaracharya look at the disciples? Please imitate. So he cannot imitate Mahanubhavas. So that's why Srila Prabhupada also used to say, don't imitate me, follow my instructions. So you have to be very careful. We'll have a tendency to imitate Uttamadhikaris. We should not do that. And instead, we should try to serve and take association from them, hear from them. And one very great gift that we can receive from an Uttama Adhikari is his Uchishta. What is Uchishta? Remnants from his plate. If you ever get that, immediately grab it. You know, there was one devotee during the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he used to invite all the devotees to his house for prasadam. Of course, he wanted to feed prasadam to the devotees, but his real intention was not that. What was his real intention when he invited? Take their remnants. As soon as they get up, they will immediately take their plates and eat. So when he started doing this, the devotees felt very bad. He said, he is already a great devotee. How can he take our remnants? So what they did, next time when he invited them for prasadam, they did not allow him to take the leaf plate. They only took the leaf plate and they put it outside. So now they are happy now he will not take the remnants. But later on they understood that he is going to that garbage area and he is opening the leaves and taking the remnants. So then next time when they were again invited, they took the leaf and they tore the leaf and made it into a ball, then threw it in a distant place so that he will not take it. So then what he did next time, he served them sweet mangoes. And what he did, normally when we have to serve mangoes to our guests, if we like those guests, then what we'll do, we'll peel the skin, we'll cut them into small pieces and we will remove the seed. That's how we serve. But here, what he did, he removed, he washed the mangoes nicely and he kept the mangoes like that in front of him. He did not remove the skin. He did not cut them into pieces and he did not remove the seed also. Just like that, he kept in front of him. You know why he did that? Huh? Because when the mangoes kept as a whole piece, what they will do? They will take the skin and they will bite the skin and they leave the skin there. So already one Mahaprasadam is there. Then they will eat all the pulp and they will definitely not eat what? The seed. Seed they will definitely eat. And then when they leave, he will go and take this seed and he will taste that. He will eat the skin of the man. So that somehow by hook or crook he will get Mahaprasad. So why was so much intent to get Mahaprasad? Because it is a very potent way to make progress in spiritual life. It's a very easy way. Uchishta, Padaduli and Charanamrita. These three things, if you get from a Uttama Adhikari, immediately grab it. But then our conditioning will not allow us to do that. So this is maybe some bacteria inside this water. Maybe something will happen, it is not hygienic. All these things we'll think means that's all. You lose the opportunity. So when you come to spiritual life, you leave away all your materialistic logic and intelligence outside the temple, just like you leave your chapel. But then many people, even though they leave the chapel outside, in front of the deity, they will meditate on the chapel. Because it is a costly chapel, will someone take it away? You know? So, even after coming to the temple, listening to all this wonderful philosophy, don't still hold on to your old intelligence, materialistic intelligence, way of thinking and logic. Since all those things did not work for you, since all those things did not make you happy, you came to the temple. Then why are you still holding on to it? Leave it. So, a Uttamadhikari is a great blessing to the society. So, whenever you get a chance, you associate with them and serve them. And a Uttamadhikari is qualified to become a. And Srila Prabhupada is also talking about different types of Vaishnavas towards the end of this chapter. He's talking about Prakrita Sagachiyas. You heard about Prakrita Sagachiyas? Anyone? Sagachiyas means people who imitate higher levels of devotion. Like if you go to Vrindavan, you will find so many people like this. They will dress themselves as Gopikas. And one man will dress himself as Krishna. And in the night, in the middle of the night, they will do Rasa Leela. So they think themselves as Gopikas and Krishna. But one good thing is they will chant the holy names. They will chant bhajans, all local bhajans, everything they will chant. But they imitate Gopikas and Krishna. So Prabhupada is cautioning us that you should not imitate, otherwise you will become a Sagachiya. And Prabhupada is saying that please avoid their association. But mentally you respect them. Why? Because they are somehow chanting. They imitate not even Uttamadhikaris, they imitate Gopikas and Krishna. So they think they are such elevated souls. And then Prabhupada is also talking about innocent people who are carried away by bad association. So show them some favor. Some people are innocent, they don't know. So they are misguided. So don't think that they are misguided, keep away from them. If they are really innocent and they are misguided, please show them your mercy. And Prabhupada is also saying, one who utters Krishna even once must be accepted as a Vaishnava. Even once. Why this statement is made? How can one become a Vaishnava simply by uttering Krishna's name once? How? Because he has started his spiritual life. Also in the scriptures it is mentioned that only if you have done lot of pious activities in your previous janma, you will be able to chant the holy name. So it is not easy for a person to chant Harina. If he is chanting, even if only once, understand that he must have done something very pious in this previous janma. And also the moment you chant, you are getting purified. See, once there was a discussion between Mother Parvati and Shiva in Kailasa. So Mother Parvati once asked Shiva that, see, you permanently reside in Kashi. You never leave the holy dham of Kashi. And it is also mentioned that people who visit Kashi and take bath in Ganga, they will immediately get mukti. After they leave their body, they will go to a higher abode. But then I am seeing that there is a lot of crowd in Kashi. Whenever I try to book a ticket in Varanasi Express, it is always in the waiting list. So many people are coming to Kashi, taking bath in Ganga. But why there is not so much crowd in Kailasa? Kailasa, so many seats are vacant. So why these people are not getting liberated? Did you understand the question of Parvati? They are visiting Kashi, and if they are taking bath in Ganga, they must be liberated. After they leave their body, they should come back to Kailasa or go to Vaikuntha planets. But why it is not happening? So, what Shiva did, he took Mother Parvati to Kashi. They both disguised themselves as old couple. And then he told Parvati Devi, I will now go enter the waters. I will go inside to take bath. And then I will be swept away by the current of Ganga. And I will shout, help, help, save me. So you should sit here and call out for people to come and save me. But you should put one condition. What is the condition? You should tell that only a person who is pure can touch my husband. Nobody else should touch my husband. If that condition is okay for them, let them jump and save. Otherwise, don't allow them to jump in the water. So this Shiva went inside. He's an old man, and he is struggling, he's sinking. And then Parvati Devi shouted, help, help, my husband is sinking. So many people rushed forward, and they all removed their dhoti, kurta, everything. And then Mother Parvati, she should have told me before, no, after they removed their dhoti, kurta, she said, hey, there is one condition. You cannot jump inside unless and until you are pure, then only you can touch my husband. Then all the poor fellows, they immediately put back their dhotis and kurta and said, okay, lady, you take care of your husband. They all went. So she is shouting, shouting. Lord Shiva is drinking so much water. Nobody is jumping. Because everybody, after they heard this condition, they are going back. Finally, one man from somewhere, he ran fast, and without even removing his dhoti kurta, he jumped inside. And Mother Parvati couldn't even give him this instruction, but even though he jumped in, she was shouting, hey, are you pure? Are you pure? Like that. But anyway, he went and saved her, Lord Shiva. And then Mother Parvati asked this man who saved, Lord Shiva, why did you jump inside? I had this condition. Oh, I am little bad in hearing. I am little deaf. That is why I did not hear. Sorry, if you had told me this before, I wouldn't have jumped in. Now, why did Shiva enact this pastime? What was the original question of Parvati Devi? Why they are not getting purified and coming back to heaven? So why these people did not jump? Because they know that we are very sinful. We are not pure. But then, what did they forget? They forgot the fact, or they did not have faith in the fact that as soon as you touch the waters of Ganga, all your sins will be purified. So the moment you jump inside, you are purified. By the time you swim across and reach and hold that person, you must have been purified. Then what is your problem? So nobody had faith. Even though they are taking bath in Ganga so many times, visiting Kashi so many times, you don't have any faith. And Shiva said that is the reason why all of them are not coming back to. So this faith is very important. And that is why Prabhupada is saying, even if a person utters Krishna Nama, holy name once, he should be considered as a Vaishnava. Why? Because as soon as he utters the holy name, he is free of all his sinful reactions. He is pure. So, Prabhupada is hinting so much about the power of the holy name here. And towards the end, Prabhupada is talking about the importance of surrender at the time of Diksha. And Prabhupada is saying that you can be a surrendered soul only if you have a few prerequisites. Prabhupada is listing out 4 prerequisites so that you can be a completely surrendered soul. The first prerequisite is you must be disinterested in material enjoyment and mundane inquiries. This is what Srila Prabhupada says. You must be free or you must be disinterested in material enjoyment and mundane inquiries. Okay, we must be free from material enjoyment, the tendency to enjoy materially. But why we should be free from mundane inquiries? What is the meaning of mundane inquiry? Mundane inquiry means what? You are very curious to know about materialistic things. So if you are very curious to know about materialistic things, that means you are very much interested in this material world. So that shows you have a tendency to enjoy in a materialistic way. So only if you are free from that, you can be a surrendered soul. The second prerequisite given by Prabhupada is readiness to practice austerity, celibacy, and satya. Then you become a fit candidate. You should be ready to follow austerity. You should be ready to follow the vow of celibacy, and you should also be ready to control your senses. And the third prerequisite is inquisitiveness to understand the absolute. You should be very curious and inquisitive to understand, to know about the supreme absolute truth. And the fourth prerequisite is desire for spiritual enlightenment from a guru. Simply a desire for spiritual enlightenment is not good. You should also be ready to accept a guru. Otherwise, if a person who is a spiritual seeker but is not ready to accept a guru, then what will happen to him? He is a spiritual seeker only, but he doesn't want to accept any guru. Then what will happen to him? He may deviate. He may get into false conclusions. He will waste his life. There are many people like that. They call themselves as Satyanvesh. I am a seeker of truth. I want to find the truth myself. You cannot do that. You will simply waste your lifetime. So you should have spiritual inquisitiveness. At the same time, you should be ready to accept the instructions from the spiritual. So with this, Srila Prabhupada is concluding this chapter, and he is also saying that please don't accept a spiritual master for the sake of accepting it or as a fashionable practice. Especially in North India, everyone wants to have a guru. Otherwise, they think I'm not complete. I'm a wealthy, prestigious, aristocratic person means I must have a guru. So for namesake, they have a guru. And once in a year, they will invite the guru. He feed him nice prasadam, give him dakshina, and he will leave. Guru just for the sake of Prabhupada is saying, don't do that. If you accept a guru, you associate with him, you hear from him, and follow his instructions. And to conclude, there is a discussion about Brahma Vihara in Upanishads. Brahma Vihara means to situate yourself in Brahman, or in our words, Krishna consciousness. So, how is it possible? It is possible by practicing 4 virtues. What are they? The first virtue is Karuna. Karuna means you show mercy to people who are less qualified than yourself. Don't look down upon them. So why are we discussing this? We are talking about Kanishta, Madhyama and Uttamadhigaris. People are at different levels. So if you feel that someone is less qualified than you, you show them Karuna. Normally, you will have a feeling of avajna. Avajna means what? Huh? You will feel like a Buddha fellow. Nothing means. A stupid fellow. Like that we feel when we find someone who is less qualified than us. But a devotee must feel karuna. He needs my support and guidance. Once upon a time, I was also like him. So there is nothing to look down upon. So this is the first virtue that you have to practice. Karuna to those people who are below you. And suppose you meet a person who is equal to you. Then what you should do? Maitri. This is the second virtue. Maitri means friendship. Normally, what we will try to do, we will try to do something to prove that I am better than him. He is not my equal. I am better than him. We want to prove our supremacy. Again, our mind will become agitated. Isn't it? When you look down upon someone, your mind will become, you will have pride and your mind will become agitated. When you try to prove yourself that or prove others that you are better than others, then also your mind will become agitated. So don't go for that. You establish maitri with the people who are equal to you. Now, if you see people who are far more qualified than you, then what should be your feeling? Generally, you will feel very envious. Oh, he is better than me. You will feel envy. But the scriptures say you practice the virtue of mudita. Mudita, M-U-D-I-T-A. Mudita comes from amodam. Amodam means happiness. So when you see someone better than you, someone more qualified than you, you become happy. Yes, it's in a good position. I'm happy for you. Normally we say that, no, oh, you got a good job. I'm happy for you. But are you really happy for that person? That you only know. I'm very envious about it. That is the real current of flow. Mind flows inside. But externally we say, I'm happy for you. But it should be genuine. I'm happy for you. So how can we appreciate someone who is far more qualified than us? How we have to reset our mind is, we should think that, see, this person is reflecting the qualities of Krishna. Krishna is highly qualified, isn't it? He has got so many wonderful qualities, so many talents. So, whatever talents and qualities that we see in others in this material world, actually, where is it coming from? It is coming from Krishna. So, we must think that it is only a reflection of the qualities of Krishna. And this person reminds me about the opulence of the Lord. I'm very happy that he is able to reflect Krishna's qualities in such a nice way. I should also be like that. We should aspire for that position. Isn't it? So this is the third quality, mudita. And suppose you find a person who's very envious to you, then how you should, what kind of mindset you should have for him? Pity. If you start pity, then you will have a superiority complex. You will think that I am better than him. So I am pitying. Oh, poor fellow. So that should not happen. That is why it is mentioned when you give charity, you should give charity with a lot of shame. Normally, we do charity with a lot of pride. I am doing this charitable act. I am giving money to him. I am helping him. I am feeding this poor person. Pride usually comes inside our heart, but the scripture says we should do charity with a lot of shame. You should be ashamed when you are giving charity. Why? I have a pride that much. I am only able to give only this much. I am feeding him today. What will happen for his dinner? I am not able to give him his dinner. What will happen tomorrow? I am only able to do only this much. So you should be ashamed when you give charity. Lajja. So similarly, if you start pitying someone, then you will have a superiority complex. I am better than you. So you should not pity. So what should be your mindset when you see someone who is very envious? What should be your mindset? Shastra says you should have the quality of upeksha. Upeksa. Upeksha. Upeksha means you just ignore them. Don't think anything about that person. Just ignore him. He's the way he is. Okay, fine. He's one character. He's one type of personality. Let it be like that. That's it. Upeksha. So, if you have these four virtues, when you interact with the people around you, you will become happy, satisfied, and peaceful. Most of the time, we are not peaceful because we don't know how to interact with the people around us. We lose our peace of mind not because of summer or winter. Oh, now it is very cold. I lose all my peace of mind in winter. Nothing like that. You lose your shantata because of people around you. Is that correct or wrong? Yes, objects cannot make you, lose your peacefulness. Only people can make you ashanta. So they don't actually make you peaceful or peaceless. Actually, the way you take them, your mindset actually contributes to the peacefulness of your existence. So if you can practice these four virtues, then you can be very peaceful and happy. So what are they? When you see people who are below you, show karuna. Equal to you, maitri. Above you, mudita. Be happy for them. And envious of you. So with this, we come to the conclusion of this shloka. Do you have any questions? Any online questions?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. You told the four virtues, Prabhuji,
Okay.
like it comes under
Jai Shri
what?
Goswami Pad ki jai. Jai Shri Deshanubam ki jai. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
எப்பவும் chant பண்ற குருமா for the health questions.